volunteer. So we just have to a couple of discussions, and then you can work in class and kind of gather back again at play to
Ma'am,
discuss that. Yeah.
I started by writing synonyms, then what uh, like the loudest animal I found about loudest animal, then things that are related to loud, then there is also the uh, loud smell.
Okay.
So
Do you have any sketches done yet, or have you just thought about visuals that go with it?
ma'am, I have a few explorations I have made.
Okay. Do you want to share with the class?
Ma'am, screen share in 2 minutes. I just click the picture and screen share.
Okay. Does anybody else want to discuss? No one, none of you have made any progress?
Ma'am, I've done the brainstorming. I've just started with the explorations.
Okay, do you want to, share with the class what you brainstormed about, or what your overall ideas are, what
So
direction you're thinking of going in?
my prompt was loud, so I started writing the words related to loud and how differently it means. So different noises, voices, and how also nature of people could be loud. So I'm right now brainstorming on how I could show attention-seeking nature to be loud.
Okay,
So I've started exploring that.
okay. Anyone else?
Can I share my screen now?
Yeah.
So firstly, I started with the basic explorations like breaking of glass, then closing the ears. The other word for loud noise was ear splitting. So in the fourth one, I tried showing that. Then the loudest animal was sperm whale. So I did that.
Then
Then
can you move down, like scroll up?
then I tried showing the loud fashion, tacky fashion in the three pictures. And then, like in cartoon, it is shown that whenever a loud sound comes, then ears will get like hairs will get away from head and everything. So that I tried showing that thing.
Okay, what's the last one?
Ma'am, I couldn't do it well. I thought, the inside the well, it's all silence. So, like, I tried showing the loud sound inside the well if someone is shouting. So, the echoing of voice in
Okay,
silence, please.
okay.
So, this was
So what's
exploration.
happening for your thumb?
Sorry, ma'am.
Right. So, like an initial, so okay, so for initial, starting point, you have a lot of ideas, which is very good. But doing a lot of it is, right now I'm doing drawing very networking, right? And I do look because kind of starting with a tough topic in terms of like conceptual illustration. Right? It's a skill that is developed over time. Not everybody thinks in that way. So getting things out literally is good. But now what we want to do is think of like metaphoric way.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you talk about, let's say ears with sound, yeah, then what is it about that sound, that you want to show, but you don't want to use, let's say, okay, I'm guessing the human that is drawn to,
Yes,
kind
ma'am.
of covering her ears refers to that. So that's a literal way of drawing it, right?
Yes,
Like
ma'am.
what you think is what you've drawn. So now you want to think of what other meaning is it that I can draw. Okay? So, so because your classmates have already done this before, so I'm going to kind of pick up on what they've explored and give you guys a few hints. So you can, kind of start looking in that thought world. So let's say one of your classmates had this, really nice thumbnail of a telephone being loud. Now, obviously a telephone, means it is loud, but uh, from that came the idea of, what is it that, is so silent and we kind of like, just let go of it in terms of, like you kind of just take it for granted, that sound. But then if you put that same object in, let's say, a very quiet place, okay, it could be the loudest sound that's not there. Right? So you
Yes,
see
ma'am.
where I'm leading with that. So now you already have like a whole list of objects and ideas that you created, like a library for that. So now we want to kind of think of things in a context like that. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to so I kind of in the other group on WhatsApp I did put in a few links of illustrators who work conceptually. So it would be a good idea for you guys to like for kind of look at their work. Okay? So I'm going to actually share them on group A, right? Illustration student. Okay. So I just put them there right now, and you guys can also take a look at that. So that will give you more of an idea of how conceptual actually works. Okay. So a lot of times what happens is, and also because of a lot of digital illustration influx, it becomes very vector when it's timeless. You do not have to work it. Okay, like I showed you the geisha piece, right? So that's watercolor, and that's not vector. That's like more render. You can actually kind of representation as well. So when we talk about conceptual, a lot of what you see will be very stark graphic design, in terms of aesthetic, but you do not have to do that. Once you have your drawing down and your idea down, how to kind of execute it in terms of rendering uh, is a thought after that in most cases. So in most cases, any kind of so even if you use watercolor for it, it will work. Okay? It's just how you treat it at that point. Okay, who else wants to share?
Ma'am, I had one question. So, can we have like something which is laughing out loud, or like chewing loud or loud neighborhood as a thing? My topic is loud.
So see that again is what I wanted to stay clear of. Okay? So okay, how about I put it this way? So whatever your topic is, okay, think of trying to show that idea without actually drawing things associated with it. Okay, literally. So let's say with loud, okay, anything that comes out of your mouth can be loud, right? It can be laugh, it can be shouting, whatever. So literally drawing a mouth, okay, or just a mouth, or just a face, or you really mean that. uh, is a way of expressing that nature. We want to move away from that. Hmm. So try and think of substitutes for
Okay, ma'am.
that. Substitutes that make sense. Hmm. So
Ma'am,
even let's say with the yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, you continue. I'll speak later, like when you're done.
Okay. So even with like let's say the prompt quiet, okay. The first thing that everybody would probably think most people is like, oh, finger to the lips, or their lips that are closed or mouth that is closed, or a very like tranquil, quiet place like a beach, mountainside, whatever. Okay, ocean. Okay, so my point is, I'm not against using that, but kind of use it in a way that it does not direct the show. Okay? You can also use the opposites to show. So when I talk about, a quiet thing being in a quiet place, okay, it makes it the loudest thing there. Well, not quiet, but like, a thing that is like normally kind of like ignored. When it's in a very quiet place, it makes it really loud. Right? So think of it in terms of like, it's this and that. See, go ahead, you were speaking.
So now my topic is quiet. So could it be something like there's a desert, there's nothing but just a chair and a table in the whole desert? So like a type of connected quiet to lonely and silence and dark.
Okay. That still is very literal. Okay? So you want to think in terms of again, what is it about that quiet place that makes it quiet, and then kind of associate it with another, let's say, thing that is quiet. So kind of put it in that unusual context, right? So when we do conceptual, a lot of the ideas that actually come from are from the context that already exists. Okay? Like, just in the way that, when you say a desert is a quiet place, we all know that. So when anybody sees that, they automatically read it as quiet. Okay. So how can you show the term quiet, okay, and let's say the term desert, the desert, without actually drawing the desert, without actually, just putting like a singular chair and table. So the links I shared in the group, if you look at them, so a lot of times what you can do is, one of the ways to tackle this is in terms of drawing is negative space, right? So when I showed you the geisha things, I was drawing the neighborhood. Okay? If I had just drawn that, the architecture, it would just be like a scenery, and the narrative illustration that shows the place where she lived. But because I used the negative space to form the lady's shape, the geisha's silhouette, it brought in a second beat that, oh, okay, so the whole story or that is focused on this one, person. So if you, let's say, we were thinking of drawing a desert with the sand dunes and we wanted to show the idea of loneliness. You can literally draw that, but it would kind of be at that point that you kind of craft your sand dunes and your desert in a way that it shows, a solitary chair or solitary table or, something that has a negative space or a negative thing. So when somebody looks at it, oh, it's just a desert. But then when you look at history, okay, that's when you see that other form. So when you kind of associate that whole place, you say quiet for means and also lonely. So if the first read is literally quiet, the second read of lonely also comes in. That's another way of doing it. When we use things that are literal. Another way could also be that, again, just taking the idea of desert. I'm not sure why he put label and chair there, but that brings me, to me the thought that, oh, what if it's just a writer? Somebody who's writing a book, it doesn't really piece of quiet. So I can also read that, let's draw a scene with a writer, in writing, composing at his table, but then the composition is such that negative space maybe forms an element of the desert, okay, or kind of invokes the sense of the desert and brings that in as a second read. So the meaning could be then that what we're trying to show is that the writer, okay, when he's writing, he's thinking of a quiet place, or wish he would be in a quiet place, or maybe he's even thinking, trying to write about the quiet. So if you draw this, what you want to avoid doing is, literally showing the desert. Okay? Like literally in that context would be, maybe it's a picture in the room he's in, or maybe it's a desert outside the window, or maybe it's like, um, I don't know, like, something like in a photo frame, or basically literally just right there for you to reference. What could work in that context is, if it's like a large hourglass maybe sitting in, and that forms the desert, and you put the right. So also playing with scales helps a lot with conception. Anybody else? Okay, do you have to take attendance? Okay.
Yeah, ma'am, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, do you have to take attendance?
Ma'am, little but I took a screenshot, so I think that's why.
Okay. Um, Anybody else have any questions? So it's already close to 2:30. So if you guys want another hour to work, um, we can do that and then come back and discuss. Okay? Does that work? Yes, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Please do stay connected, okay? Because if you leave the class, you'll actually be leaving the class. So just stay connected. I'll be on mute. But you guys can just chime in when you need input.